7 demons Jesus fought in hell. What happened in 3 days will shock you. Story based on the Holy Bible. Colossians chapter 2 verse 16. They thought Jesus was finished after the cross, but the moment he gave up his last breath, he descended into hell, not to suffer but to conquer.
Father, into your hands I commend my spirit.
Here are the 7 demons Jesus faced in the underworld, and how he defeated each one during the 3 most terrifying days in spiritual history. 1. Abaddon, king of the abyss, symbol of death, plague, and destruction. The gates of the abyss groaned as the first challenger rose from beneath the ground. Abaddon, the destroyer, cloaked in the screams of plagues and battlefields. He ruled over mass death, disease, and terror, a commander of ruin. His voice echoed like thunder.
Son of man, you walk where no living light has stood. This is my kingdom.
These are my prisoners. But Jesus stood still. There was no fear in him, no trembling, only fire in his eyes. You never held the keys, he said. You only borrowed fear. I am the resurrection, and I have come to take back the dead. Abaddon roared and launched forward. His wings of black smoke unfurled. Legions of souls wailed in his shadow. But with a single word, enough, Jesus shattered him. The chains fell. The prison doors burst open. Death was no longer king. 2. Belial's spirit of lawlessness, symbol of rebellion, corruption, and seduction. Deep in the ruins sat Belial, lounging on a throne made of fractured commandments and torn scrolls. He smiled, too charming, too polished. He smelled of compromise, religion without truth, power without obedience. He raised a cup, mocking. Law, order, obedience, that's your weakness. I teach them freedom, to be their own gods. Jesus walked forward, slow and steady. You seduced them with lies, I free them with truth. Belial scoffed and sent shadows of false prophets and rulers crawling toward Jesus. They whispered doctrines of demons. They bled deception, but light broke from Jesus' robes, and the scrolls Belial burned were restored in flame. The throne cracked. The liar screamed. Lawlessness had no place where the word stood alive. 3. Leviathan, the serpent of pride, symbol of arrogance, confusion, and spiritual twisting. Below the abyss, a sea without waves boiled. There, wrapped in coils thicker than trees, slithered Leviathan, the ancient sea monster of confusion and pride. He didn't scream. He whispered. Did God really say? His breath carried old lies. He twisted faith. He confused truth. Jesus stepped on the waters. They turned to glass. He looked Leviathan in the eyes. I came not to exalt myself, but to humble myself to death, and even here that humility crushes your pride. Leviathan hissed. His tail lashed. The sea rose in waves of delusion. But Jesus raised his hand, and it all stopped. Still, silent. With a flash of divine light, Leviathan unraveled and was swallowed in holy flame. Pride bowed to the servant king. 4. Mammon, the spirit of greed, symbol of materialism, corruption, and spiritual slavery. Golden halls stretched across the underworld, not built for beauty, but built to trap souls. Piles of treasure rose like mountains, and atop them sat Mammon, bloated, greedy, slithering between coins and blood. Everyone has a price, he said. Even your followers. Judas proved it. Jesus didn't flinch. You bought their bodies. I came for their souls. Mammon laughed, flinging contracts, bribes, cursed inheritances into the air. They want comfort, not crosses. But Jesus lifted his hands, still scarred. He pointed to the treasure. and every coin turned to dust. Mammon shrieked as his hoard crumbled, his throne sank, his chains broke. Greed lost to the God who gave everything. 5. Asmodeus, demon of lust and perversion, symbol of sexual sin, impurity, broken intimacy. The next chamber was hot, not with hellfire, but with the stench of defiled passion. Asmodeus danced between burning altars, his form beautiful but monstrous. His face was every forbidden fantasy. His voice was a chorus of addiction. "They'll never love you," he said. "I give them pleasure, you give them rules." Jesus said nothing. He looked at the shattered hearts chained to altars of shame. He stepped into the fire untouched and spoke, "I give them something you never will. Restoration." He touched the altar. The flames died. Chains broke. Tears fell. Asmodeus screamed, twisting in the ashes of his domain as purity reclaimed what lust had defiled. Lust lost to love. 6. Beelzebub, prince of demons, symbol of possession, addiction, chaos, and torment. The walls shook as Beelzebub approached, massive, insectoid, rotting wings flapping with the weight of every demon under his rule. He didn't speak. He roared. Spirits howled in torment. He brought with him the smell of madness. This was the one demons obeyed, the one who entered bodies, the one who screamed through broken minds. He lunged at Jesus with a legion of howling souls. But Jesus, unshaken, stood firm. "Come out of them," he said. "You have no home in what I have made clean." With a shout that cracked the walls of Sheol, Beelzebub fell. His swarm scattered, his dominion undone. Demons obeyed and fled. 7. Satan, the accuser, the dragon, the adversary. The final confrontations. All was quiet now, until the smoke parted. And there he stood, no longer hiding. Satan. The morning star turned accuser, cloaked in centuries of bitterness, eyes that had watched Adam fall, voice that had tempted kings and slaughtered prophets. He didn't run. He didn't bow. "So, this is how it ends," he said. "You've come to take what I built." Jesus didn't argue. He reached for the keys and took them. "It never belonged to you," he said. "You were a thief, a liar, a murderer from the beginning." Satan smiled. "They still sin, they still fall. You died for nothing." Jesus stepped forward. "I died for everything." And then, the light exploded. The walls shattered. The gates blew open. The souls once held captive rose with him. And Satan, defeated, disarmed, broken. The war was over. On the third day, the stone rolled away. The earth shook. The tomb was empty. He had descended, faced every demon, and risen with the keys. "I am the first and the last," he said. "I was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore, and I hold the keys of death and hell." Revelation 1:18. If you've ever felt tormented, bound, ashamed, confused, remember, Jesus walked into hell and tore down 7 thrones of darkness just to get to you. Share this video if you believe Jesus holds the keys. Like and comment "He has risen" if you're grateful for what he did. Subscribe for more faith-filled content they won't preach in most churches. Because this isn't religion. This is war, and the victory has already been won.